to get a cheap truck. A Pakistani owner bought this accident vehicle for 10 rupees. He decided to repair it and continue using it. The mechanic needed to dismantle the entire truck and repair each part. This task was as challenging as building a new truck from scratch. After 2 hours of disassembly, the mechanic had removed all the attachments. He could now open the cab. The engine and transmission were not damaged. They didn't have a specialized crane, so they used a forklift to remove the cab. But an accident occurred. Suddenly, the cab swung violently. Luckily, the mechanic reacted quickly. It scared the mechanic. After removing the cab, they also took out the radiator and condenser. These attachments appeared to be intact. However, the most important parts were the engine and transmission. Once the engine and front axle were removed, they began straightening the frame. They didn't have a specialized frame straightening machine. They had to straighten it manually. During the straightening process, the two mechanics worked in perfect harmony. They heated the frame and used a jack to reposition it. Straightening the frame was just the first step. The mechanic also needed to use a hammer to correct the deformed parts of the frame. After the correction was complete, they reinstalled the front axle assembly. Although it was a used truck, the mechanic aimed to make it look new. They applied putty to the uneven parts of the frame and sanded it down. After sanding, they sprayed a layer of original paint on the frame. Once the paint dried, they used a forklift to reinstall the engine and transmission. With the help of a sealing gun, the mechanic quickly installed the parts. Then they used the forklift to reinstall the cab. Just like installing the leaf springs, they aligned the holes and inserted the pins back into place. Since the mechanic only applied a primer during the repair, they needed to spray a layer of color paint. Even though the mechanic was wearing flip